Well, Daniel, it is awesome to have you here. This is like a bucket list, I don't even know where to start, so I'm gonna just like try and start at the beginning, but I'm just gonna like have to press through this because like I could talk to you for days. So the first time I was actually introduced to yourself was like Bloodsport 2 and 3 that I had picked up. What was it like starring in them movies and taking over from Van Damme?
So, that was a long, long time ago, and it was an amazing time in my life. Imagine I was like this young buck. I was living in Paris. I just came to America. I got the offer to do Bloodsport 2, and I was like, this is crazy. This is insane. And it took a while before it actually went. I came to the States in 93, and it finally happened in 95. But it was just think about it. A guy from Switzerland coming to America, being in Los Angeles, training at a Gold's Gym in Venice, preparing for Bloodsport 2, replacing Van Damme, who I was a huge fan of at the time because he just did Bloodsport and Kickboxer. It was literally like unreal. And then when I made the film, blew me away, blew me away.
They're actually brilliant. You know the way sometimes you get sequels to like classic 80s movies? Like I have to say I do prefer the sequels. And there's just, there's something that's so cool about them. Like when they open up, you just get like these ninjas that jump in and like you just don't get that in movies these days, you know? There has to be a reason for it, but back then you could just throw ninjas into anything, man. It was brilliant.
Yeah, it was great.
And then True Vengeance as well. That's a classic. I'm surprised you haven't sequeled that yet.
So, what's actually really funny? True Vengeance was actually a really good movie. It was directed by David Worth. It was like this small movie we kind of wanted to make. This was so as you probably know, I'm really good friends with Chad Stahelski from 8711. And Chad at the time was my fight coordinator. And he was a huge Hong Kong fan. And what we did with True Vengeance, we did basically a ripoff of Hard Boiled. That's what we wanted to do. We wanted to do like a rip off a John Woo movie. Me running around with guns firing, flying around, circling on the ground. And he actually Chad still says that was one of my best lower budget movies in the beginning of my career. That was one of his favorites.
Yeah, it's one of mine, and I'm surprised like they didn't like turn that into a franchise because like looking back on it now, that was like the original sort of John Wick, you know? It was brilliant.
Hey, who knows? Maybe it's actually a film I've looked into. I would love to do a remake of that today.
Oh, that would be brilliant.
That could actually be interesting. With at the time, I just started acting, and it was a very low budget movie, but make that film today and make it more like a Black Rain.
That would be really good.
That could be
Yeah.
really interesting, I think.
I remember a while ago I was speaking to someone who was a stuntman in one of your movies. It was Black Sea Raid or Special Forces, whatever title you want to call it. It was
Yeah.
Jeff Pruitt. And he was saying that movie was like such a blast. Like there was tanks everywhere. You were sleeping
That was
in bunkers.
crazy. That was crazy. That was a crazy movie. I mean, that movie was crazy. We went to Ukraine. We shot that movie in Ukraine. It was insane. We had like a helicopter. We had like these, I forgot, like these flagship helicopters. We had like 5 tanks. We had like 100 foot soldiers. It was insane. You can't do that anymore today. Back then, it was
No.
possible.
They were the days when action movies were really raw. Do you remember like the PM entertainment days and stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that?
yeah.
Unreal. Um, Another movie as well I want to touch upon. You got to go toe to toe with Chuck Norris and like Chuck Norris's last decent movie, you know? What was it like working with the Chuck?
So I've always been a big, big fan of Chuck Norris. I mean, he is just a legend, and just to be in his presence is unbelievable. And I don't know if you ever got a chance to meet him, he is the kindest man you can imagine. He is just a beautiful human being. And I made this movie. Actually, a friend of mine, Pinchas Perry, was a producer on the film, and he invited me to go and work on this film. And he introduced me to Chuck. And I remember, I walked up to Chuck and I said, Mr. Norris, it's a such an honor to meet you. And he goes, well, call me Chuck. And he was just the sweetest man. And Chuck has a stunt double who looks just like him, who's an unbelievable fighter. And what Chuck does, and actually Chuck's son, Eric Norris, was the fight coordinator and the stunt coordinator. So, but they're very, Chuck is a star. So he's
Yeah.
very careful who he fights. So when we did the fight scene, he had his stunt double first fight with me. And he would just stand on the side and watch. And literally after 3 minutes, watching me fighting his stunt double, he said, cut, I want to come in. He came in, and then Chuck and I did the rest of the fight
Unreal.
because he had his stunt double test me to see how safe I am, you know?
Yeah.
And then Chuck and I had like this beautiful fight scene together. There's one in the bus and there's one in a warehouse, which was
Yeah.
amazing. And then also his brother, I did a fight scene with his brother, Aaron Norris, and he is a tough guy too, that guy. He was
Really.
awesome as well. Oh yeah, Aaron is tough. But Chuck was just what a gem of a person and what an honor for me that I could work with a legend, you know? He's a legend.
And then later on in your career, anyway, you went on to star in John Wick, which became like really, really huge. When you guys were making John Wick, did you think it would blow up as big as it did?
I did. I did. I really did. As I mentioned earlier, I'm very good friends with Chad and Dave, and when this movie came about, Chad came up to me and he goes, "Hey, Daniel, want to be in John Wick?" And I said, "Yeah, I would love that." Fighting Keanu Reeves, who I've actually worked together in the past on Matrix Reloaded, and it was just, seeing your friends direct their first movie. And it was just the most incredible thing. I was so proud of them. Was it hard? Yes. Was it tough? Yes. Did our days get cut in half sometimes? Yes. Did we have to cut fight scenes? Yes. But we made the best out of it, and it became this beautiful movie. And Keanu just absolutely was incredible. We had a screening in LA for the 10th anniversary of John Wick, and I haven't seen that movie in 10 years. And I'm watching the movie and I'm going like, holy moly, this is an incredible movie. This is incredible. I forgot how good it was. And Chad and Dave did such an incredible job.
It was one movie that, initially it was your sort of star power that like led me to it. Seeing your name attached, and I was like, yeah, definitely in, because it's Daniel Bernhardt. And then the
Oh,
fact that,
come on, Keanu Reeves. Come on.
yeah, but then it was the fact Scott Adkins actually endorsed it too.
Hmm.
And then I was like, you're starring in it, so it has to be a good shout. And Scott's endorsed it. Why not? And then, Keanu's cool, like, so it was a win-win all round.
Yeah. I think that
Yeah.
movie blew everybody away. I mean, it became this. I mean, making the movie, I had such great feelings about it. It was incredible. I mean, I knew it's going to blow up. I knew it.
And it comes across so much bigger than, like it comes across like a huge Hollywood production. Like the fight scenes in it are some of the best that we had seen. And only really got better with the sequels, didn't they? Like Keanu put in so much blood, sweat, and tears into bringing the character alive.
Uh-huh. There was just something about that first one. I remember I had this beautiful story. Keanu and I are at the club. You remember the club scene when he
Yeah.
fights everybody and then he comes against me? And at the end, he fights me and we're fighting and it's this beautiful fight. And we had to finish the whole fight in like 7 hours, which is actually a very short time. We just, we had no more time. And Chad and Dave go, "Pat up, Daniel. We got to do masters." And we fought and it was incredible. And I remember Keanu and I are sitting on the side getting makeup done for our wounds. And I look at Keanu and I go, "You did great, Keanu." And he goes, "You did great." And I go, "You did great." And he goes, "You did great." And he goes back and forth like this. It was hysterical. And our friend who did behind the scenes, Maddie, he had the whole thing videotaped, which is
Unreal.
it was just such a beautiful moment. We're both like fighting our hearts out and making this movie magic, and it was a very, very special moment that I will never forget.
And then you did return, didn't you, for like two and three, but in like a stunt capacity? Is that
Right.
correct?
Right. Like Chad is a very good friend and he always helps me out and he gave me a job. On two, I came back as a character that actually got cut out. But I'm actually still in the movie. There's actually one shot where the camera goes up on Lincoln Square and you actually see me sitting in the background. So I'm still in it. And then on three, I came back as a stunt guy. Chad put a mask on me, and I did a fight scene with Keanu inside a pool. There's that pool scene where we do a fight underwater, and it's like ultra
Yes.
slow motion. And then in four, he just had me do a little cameo, which was yeah. I'm very grateful to Chad. He always takes care of me.
A credit as well that sort of it threw me was that you were the fight choreographer for Creed 2.
Well, yes, I was not the fight coordinator, I was a fight choreographer. My buddy, forgot his name now, he was the fight coordinator. So I was part of the fight team and we helped coordinate the fights. So I was playing opposite Michael B. Jordan, the other character. So we created all the fight scenes, we did all the previses, and then at the end, my buddy gave me fight choreographer, which is great.
That's unreal.
That was
And
actually a
then
really fun movie. That was a great movie.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I'm kind of looking forward to see where the fourth one goes, but I think they've kind of wrapped it up nicely.
Okay.
Um, Moving on to Deathstalker. So you're gonna hate me now, right? This is probably where we're gonna fall out. But do you know before I saw Deathstalker, I didn't know Deathstalker was a thing. Yeah. Like I'm probably gonna be the only one that is says this to you. I didn't know it was like an 80s movie franchise. So I was watching this
Roger
like,
Corman. Roger Corman, baby.
yeah, I was watching this like Bernhardt's got the best idea. Like this is unreal. Like
Well, it
the
wasn't my idea. It was our
yeah.
director's idea.
And then I realized when I Googled it to see if I could get like just some stills or whatever, I realized it was a thing. So
Oh yeah.
I'm
It
gonna
was a
assume,
big, big movie in the 80s. Huge.
yeah, so like I was like, I'm the only person that's probably gonna say to Daniel here, I didn't know this was a thing. But yeah,
No, 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 that's okay. No worries, man. No worries. Now you know it, and now you know it is.
and now I can just watch I'll do it in reverse. I'll watch the originals, now. So I'm gonna assume you were a fan of the original movies, right?
I was. I saw him a long, long, long time ago, but for me, it was very special. When I got approached about the project, one of our producers called me, who I've worked together in the past, and he said, "Hey, listen, we just acquired this franchise called Deathstalker. Have you heard of it?" I said, "Yeah, of course." And our director, Steven, he would love to play that you play the lead. And I was like, "Oh my God, that's amazing." And we had a call, Steven and I had a call, and he said to me, he goes, "Look, Daniel, I really like you. I'm a huge fan. I actually Steven loved me from Mortal Kombat Conquest. So he watched the TV show as a kid. And I'm playing a similar character, running around in like high boots and tight pants and the sleeves are cut off on my shirt and I had a little longer hair. And he goes, I really love that character you played. And I want to make this character, Deathstalker, just much grungier and have you do a lot of fight scenes and sword fighting and you fight real monsters. And I was like, I'm in. I mean, come on, send me the script, but I'm in. I didn't even read the script and I said, I'm in.
Yeah, I actually like I wasn't really knowing what to expect going in, but I loved it. Like the OTT gore and stuff like that. It was such a throwback, to them 80s sort of movies. It was unreal.
Yeah.
And you're in peak physical shape. Did you have to, were you like action ready or did you take time to prep for the role?
No, I actually, I got up to 220 pounds for this movie. I'm usually like right now, I'm like 212 pounds. I gained almost 5 kilos, which is about 10 pounds. And I worked out really hard. I ate like two extra meals a day. I worked my butt off. I stopped doing martial arts because when you do martial arts, you burn so much. So I just start doing a lot of heavy weightlifting. And then I had this little secret. My diet is always very clean. My whole life, I've always eaten very clean, so that's not a problem. I'm always like in a 70 to 80% shape, ready for a movie. And then when I do a film, I go 100%. But what I did is, it's a little trick. So before every scene, I had my weights on the set and I would go like, and I just pump. I do like exercises and I pump and I just go like, zip. I just get one size bigger. That's the whole trick. And then good lighting, good lighting. And they put a little tan on me. They put like a little cream on me, make me a little more tan, and then you look immediately better.
The movie as well was like, well, it looked it anyway, very physically demanding. Like, every scene you're in, you're swinging a sword or like you're hitting someone. Like, was it a grueling shoot?
Not really. It's like, I mean, like I said earlier, I've been doing this for a very long time. For me, fight scenes, I love doing fight scenes. For me, the fight scenes are really like I don't really have to think too much about it. What was really important to me in this movie was the character.
Yeah.
I've studied now for a long time acting. I love acting. I've become a real actor and I just love what I do. And I really wanted to make this character very special. So I spent a lot of time on my voice. I spent a lot of time on thinking about my history as who Deathstalker is. And I got this beautiful advice. I did a movie called Nobody with Bob Odenkirk, and I trained Bob for many, many years. And Bob has become a really good friend. And Bob, and Bob is like very proud of me and always supports my career. And he goes, "Oh, you're doing Deathstalker. That is awesome." He goes, "Send me the script. I'm gonna read the script and I'm gonna tell you what I think you should do." And I love that. So Bob gave me a very simple advice. He read the script and he goes, "Daniel, people love those kind of movies, but don't play the joke. Don't play the joke. Just play it real. You're in a real world." And that's what I did. That was probably one of the best advices that I've gotten ever.
That is
I
actually
acted.
such good advice.
It's such good advice. If I would have gone like, tried to be funny and make jokes, no, but like, there's a scene where suddenly a face comes out of the ground. It's this beautiful woman. And I just I go like, "Oh, hello." And then rah, it's a monster. And I'm like, ah.
It's such a cool movie, and as I was watching it, and as we know, I wasn't aware it was a franchise. I'm not going to live that down. But is this something you plan to franchise?
Sorry, say that one more time.
Is this like something you plan to franchise, like Deathstalker?
So for me, it's not even a question. I mean, Steven and I are already talking about number two. I want to make this a franchise. I want to do one, two, and three, and then maybe do a TV show and maybe a mini series. I mean, I think Deathstalker, I love Steven. Steven and I actually have become really good friends as well. So we always throw out ideas and we have like the funniest ideas. The funniest ideas. So, very important now. People got to go see this movie in the theaters. It's going to do really well. It's opening October 10th. And it's very important to me that people really should go see it in the theaters. And that's what I'm really trying to push. Go to the theaters, get the experience, see the action, the fights, the humor, the comedy, the gore, see it on the big screen.
I couldn't agree more. It's definitely a movie that is worthy of the big screen, just for all the effects and all the little things that obviously I got sent screener, so I watched it on my laptop, and while I was watching it, I was like, this is a movie that's it's built for a huge screen, all the
Oh my God.
colors of like the blood, the effects, the creatures are really well done, I must say.
And that's Steven. Steven built all the creatures. So this movie is Steven Kostansky. He is the movie. I mean, it's incredible what he did. He built every single monster. He did all the effects. He did even like, the stop motion when the guys are
Yeah,
fighting. He did that himself.
that is unreal. So there's so much blood, sweat, and tears in this movie that
Yes.
it's worth the price of admission just for that. Another thing I wanted to touch on as well. So if we go through like your previous movies that we had mentioned before, like this is you back as a leading man, and is this gonna be a now a thing? Are we gonna get to see you kicking ass a bit more leading movies?
Look, I can't decide that. That's the audience. If the audience goes sees the movie I'm starring in and it does well, trust me, people will come back to me and have me star in movies again. But, I love what I do. And I always say that you can hire me as a lead actor, you can hire me as the bad guy, you can hire me as a stunt guy, you can hire me as a fight coordinator. I love it all. I love what I do, I love my business, and I'm very, very lucky, how far I've come in my career.
Um, Before we wrap, I was going to ask you, there's a project coming up that you worked on called Nightingale with William Kaufman. I know.
No, 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 no. I'm saying that means
Ah,
like it's a good one.
oh, that's brilliant. Yes. Will's a good friend of mine. Love Will to bits, love his movies. This
He
one seems really good.
he is awesome. Will is awesome. Did you see his last movie that just came out?
Yes,
Right.
Osiris.
Cyrus. I went to a special screening and it was, I mean, unbelievable. Unbelievable. He is so talented. And Nightingale, I think you got to be very surprised what I'm playing.
Are you a villain?
I'm not playing a good guy.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, me
Yes,
too.
before we wrap, if you had to sell Deathstalker to our audience, how would you sell it?
I would say I would just take your words out of your mouth. Go see a fun movie, great action, incredible effects, flashback to the 80s. Go see it on the big screen. Have fun, bring your friends, and I promise you, you will not regret it. You will love it. You'll get a laugh. It's actually a funny movie. There's actually a lot of comedy in it, right?
Yeah,
It's pretty
yeah,
funny, fun, great action, incredible effects, crazy monsters. It's amazing. It's
yeah.
a
It's
fun
definitely.
ride.
It's not a movie you get like so often these days, and I think that's what makes it brilliant.
It was very interesting. We screened the movie at Locarno at the International Film Festival in Locarno, and I spoke to the guy who programmed the film, and he said they took the film because it's art. It's like an art movie because everything is handmade. It's no CGI special effects done by computers. This is a guy who actually built everything. Me fighting monsters. I mean, it's incredible.
Yeah, that's a brilliant way to put it. An art movie. I'm gonna steal that quote. Daniel, it's been awesome speaking to you.
Right.
You
Thank you,
know,
Jeff. Thank you for your time and help us sell this movie that people go
I
see it
will,
in the
don't you
theaters.
worry. We'll get the promotion on.
I
And
appreciate it.
don't be a stranger. The door's always open for you.
I appreciate it. Maybe Nightingale. And then definitely Deathstalker 2.
Exactly. I'll be front and center for that one.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you for
No
your
worries.
time.
Thank you, Daniel, and thank you guys for